Next, we're going to talk about our accordion component. This is probably the most complicated component we offer in the CMS, but once you get it down, it's pretty easy to use. What Accordion allows you to do is lay out lots of information on a page, but by setting it up in an accordion, you can collapse and expand it so your content doesn't go on forever. Your first entry is always going to be open when someone comes to the page, and then I can collapse and expand the content as a user. So if we go back to our test page, we're going to start building our accordion. I always like to start with the text component on top so I can make sure there's a proper header associated with my accordion. From there, I'm going to open up that other category and drag the accordion on the page. All the accordion component does itself is actually allow each entry point to collapse or expand. So now I'm going to go in and drag my first entry right underneath the accordion. Each entry is actually the collapsible, expandable box where we can put content. Any of the content we've reviewed so far today, including column control, text, images, tables, etc., can be put inside each accordion component. The content's actually going to go inside the indented area. Where accordion gets tricky is you want to make sure that you're stacking your entries one on top of another like building blocks. You'll notice they have this nice outline around them. If I accidentally drag an entry inside the content area, you'll notice that I don't get that pretty styling box around it because it's not in the right place. So now I'm going to delete this entry and add a new one back so it's stacked properly. Once I've set up my accordion, I can actually start dragging and dropping content inside each entry point. So I'm just going to take this text component and put it inside the indented area of this accordion. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste so each of my accordion entries has some content inside. The last step is to actually edit each entry so that each one has a proper title. If you were building an accordion entry perhaps that's a Q&A, your accordion entry title might be the question, followed by the answer. The very last step to make sure that our accordion is actually built correctly and that all my content is where it needs to be, I'm going to hit preview and refresh the page so that the accordion collapses. If my first entry is open and my other two collapse and expand on click, then I built the accordion correctly. Now I'm going to drop it back into edit mode so I can continue to add and edit content. You can have as many components inside each entry as you want, on top of, again, using as many of the components that we've reviewed inside each accordion entry.